The effect when the funds are delayed, we do not concentrate on the running because some of the runners are sent home to get the money from the parents, of which we do not cover the syllabus in the right time. We want to thank our government for the capitation, although sometimes it comes very late and it becomes very hectic for us to run the schools. Also for the promotion of the teachers, this time loud it was not done very well. So we would like to urge the government to consider the teachers, those who have stagnated in the same job group. Also for those who are not yet employed, those who are not absorbed in the TSC, they try and do so. For example, in my school, I have a teacher who has worked for more than 10 years in the BOM terms. That is not fair to that teacher, so they can absorb all of them, so that we can cater for the learners, so that we can mold their future.
Budget does not align with the cash flow. In Parliament or in the National Assembly, we budget for those resources, capitation, but now the rate of correction of these revenues or income by KRA does not match the budget, and that is why we have an issue. As you remember, we have been pushing as a National Assembly to have something called balanced budget. Balanced budget means that whatever we put in budget, we are sure that we are able to raise that money. The problem we are having now is that most of the funds that are collected by KRA from taxes and so forth, they go into paying loans, or they go into paying paid-in bills, and you know those form the first charge because the country cannot afford to default. But also, we have discussed with the State Department of Basic Education, and we have told them we cannot joke with the education of our kids. And I know you keenly followed the budget that was passed just the other day and was read by CS Bandi in the National Assembly. Education has been allocated the highest budget, almost 800 billion. That is from primary, secondary, and tertiary and universities. But what I can assure the residents of this great sub-county and of this country, that as the National Assembly we are going to do our level best to make sure that every single cent that has been set aside for capitation has been released and has been released timely. Because that is the problem we are having. We know that schools are suffering. There are so many paid-in bills in high schools and in secondary schools. And you find that principals, some of them are almost being auctioned. And that's why they are unable to keep the kids at school. So this is an issue that we are keenly following. And if you remember, like 1 year, 2 years ago, I asked a question to the then CS Mashogu about this capitation. And I think this is something that as a National Assembly, that can be our legacy. If we can make sure that all the funds that are received by this government, that they prioritize education. First thing first, let them release even what we have now. The 22,000 for secondary schools, especially boarding schools. Let them release first, because the problem we are having when a year ends and they have not released all the funds, then when that year closes, they don't receive that money the next financial year. So they transfer the debt. It becomes a paid-in bill. So if the government can even release what is supposed to release now, and release it fully, I'm very sure the schools will be a bit comfortable, even before we do the review. Yeah, but I fully support the review. I fully support the review because the cost of living has definitely gone up. It cannot be what the 10 shillings used to buy in 2015 cannot buy in 2025, 10 years down the line.